Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, founder of Function Pilates, located here in Tempe, Arizona. And today's workout feels especially fitting because I just returned home from hosting our very first Function Pilates retreat, and it was in Greece. So to say it was an incredible experience would be an understatement. Over the course of that week, I had the opportunity to connect with so many amazing women from different backgrounds, different cities, and we were all brought together by a shared love of Pilates. We spent our mornings moving together as I led Pilates and restorative mat classes. We explored some of the most beautiful parts of Greece in Santorini and also the island of Crete. We enjoyed a private catamaran cruise, wine tasting, a cooking class, just incredible food throughout the week, and even a sunset hike overlooking the Aegean Sea. But honestly, what stood out the most wasn't the destination or activities, it was the connections. Watching a group of women who have never met before arrive as strangers and leave as friends was something really special. And while the retreat was absolutely amazing, I'm gonna be honest, traveling across multiple flights, time zone changes, and being constantly on the go definitely has left my body feeling a little sore and tight, and just a little extra special attention today. So today's workout is exactly what I needed when I got home, and I know some of you guys, when you're traveling, you probably need the same thing. So this isn't a workout about pushing harder or seeing how much we can do. It's about reconnecting with your body, easing back into movement, opening up areas that feel stiff and restricted, and creating space to move and breathe again. So you'll still get a full body experience, but we're going to slow things down a bit, spend more time in the stretches, and focus on helping the body just feel good. So whether you've recently traveled, you've taken some time away from your routine, or simply have one of those days where your body is asking for a little more care and recovery, I think this workout is going to be exactly what you need. And if hearing about the Greece retreat has you wishing you were there, I have some exciting news. We're already planning our 2027 Function Pilates retreat, and next year we'll be heading to Spain. If spending a week moving your body, exploring a beautiful destination, and connecting with incredible women, and creating just unforgettable memories sounds like something you'd enjoy, leave the word retreat in the comments below, and I'd be happy to send you more information. And if you're new here, welcome. Every Monday, I release a new workout just like this one to help support your Pilates practice. On Wednesdays, you'll find real life sessions where I'm teaching students in our active teacher training program. So you can see exactly how I assess posture, modify exercises, and basically customize workouts. And on Fridays, I share quick tips and educational videos designed to help deepen your understanding of Pilates, movement, posture, and technique, and those are about 10 minutes long. I love having you guys here as part of this community, and I'm excited to be back creating new content for you. So if you're ready to get started, let's go ahead and begin. All right, so let's go ahead and begin by adjusting our springs here to just one medium spring right now, okay? So once we get there, I'm gonna be on one red spring on balanced body, and let's straddle the carriage. So let's just take one leg on each side of the reformer, and taking the hands to the foot bar, let's just go into a nice stretch here through the low back. So this is because we're straddling, it's gonna open up through the inner thighs, and it's going to create a nice openness through our low back. Love it already. And try to drop your shoulders away from your ears. So if you feel like as you're pressing into the foot bar, if you feel like you're scrunching your shoulders upward towards your ears, just drop those back down. And then you can even start to like walk your feet out a little bit more if that feels right for you. Drop your chest down a tiny bit towards the floor to create extension in your back here. And just breathe. Just start to feel this openness into your shoulders, into your ribs, making its way down into the low back. And I'm just kind of rocking, teeter-tottering my right and left shoulder up and down because that feels good to me. So explore in your body what feels right. carefully, let's go ahead and bring ourselves back up. Let's take both hands over to the left-hand side, and then let's repeat. So dropping your chest down towards the floor. Release the shoulders away from those ears. Just leaning into it. And slowly return back up again. Take your hands over to the right hand side of the foot bar. Press on out. Press your way from the foot bar to lower your chest towards the floor. Again, just taking these moments to check in with your body. Where does it need a little extra attention today? And our body shows up differently every single day. So it's so important to pay attention and nurture what fuels us every day. And then carefully, let's bring you back up to the top here. Good. So stay in this nice straddle position. I'm gonna have my feet anchored and flat against the floor, but I wanna go into some neck stretches. So with that being said, take your arms down beside you, tilting your head over to the left-hand side. Actually, careful. Let's go ahead and take your two fingers, index finger and your middle finger, place it on your chin, and I want you to push your chin towards your neck. Like if your head was up against a wall, push your head against that wall. Now hold it there, your head. You can remove your hand. Tilt your head to the left. And now think about reaching with your right fingertips towards the floor. You can even close your eyes, but this is primarily a neck stretch to target the lower trapezius. So it's going to feel where I'm actually rubbing on my neck here, the lower portion of the neck into the shoulder. So you're gonna feel that. And the deeper you reach your fingertips to the ground, the more you're gonna feel the sensation of the stretch here. And then let's come back up to the top here. So again, let's repeat that. We're gonna take our two fingers. Think about pushing your chin in towards your neck. Hold it there, remove the hand. Just tilt your head over to the right and reach your left fingertips down towards the floor. So again, you're gonna feel that primary right above the shoulder into the lower portion of the neck, and different sides because it depends on, do you have a head tilt? If you do, you're gonna have a weaker and a tighter side, and that's what this is basically pointing out. Reach those fingertips deeper, 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 and then come back through center. So we're gonna repeat this again, but we're gonna target now the upper trapezius, okay? So the upper portion of our neck here. So again, I like to get my head in placement. So if you like this, take your two fingers, push into your chin, tilt your head over to the left-hand side. You're reaching your right fingertips down, but you're gonna take your left hand to your head and not force the ear to shoulder, but again, just a gentle little pressure onto the top of the head, and you're gonna feel this stretch up right through here where I'm pointing at. Okay, keep breathing. Again, reaching a little further through your right fingertips to enhance the stretch through your neck, and come back through center. Okay, one more time. Press your chin, your head up against this imaginary wall, tilt it to the right. Right hand to the top of the head, and then reaching down with your left fingertips. I have to say, this feels so good right now. Just like, when you don't have your own pillow and just all those little minor things, like, I guess if that's the struggle today, that's a good thing, right? But yes, it is a little tighter on my left side. And then coming back up through center. Okay, so from here, let's do a nice glute piriformis stretch. So I'm gonna take my left leg up on top of the carriage, and I'm just keeping it bent here. My right leg is gonna stay down. I'm gonna come up a little closer. I'm still on that medium spring. And then hands back to the foot bar. You can go ahead and press yourself out and then drop your chest down. So you're in charge of your stretch, but really what you should be feeling is more of a left hip stretch here. Into those external rotators, into the glute piriformis area. Everyone might feel that a little differently, and if your inner thighs are pretty tight, you might even feel that too. But it feels really nice. And then bring it back up again. Let's take it to the other side. Now, obviously, if this feels good to you and you want to spend a little bit more time there, definitely do that. Especially if you come back to this video in the future. Other side, I'm gonna go ahead and press out. My right leg is bent. Again, paying attention to, maybe you can identify which side feels a little tighter for you, but watch the shoulders here, guys. So drop those shoulders down if you can as you stay long. I don't like to grip the foot bar either. I like to have my palm open, mainly because when we start gripping, it naturally sends signals up to our neck where we are tensing through those muscles. So that's why I always encourage an open palm here. And then let's go ahead carefully, let's bring it back up and let's do both. We're gonna go ahead and crisscross it, both legs. Just like that. My left is over my right, which feels quite normal to me. But we are going to do this and switching it to the other side, which will probably not feel so normal. Good, pressing away. Again, breathing is so important here as we just open up through the lower portion of our back here. Drop those shoulders so we're not shrugging so much. And just breathe at your own comfortable pace. There's not a right or a wrong here. And if you feel yourself kind of pulling in, just take that moment to press back out again, get longer. And I found myself already taking a yawn. So what does that even mean? I'm not tired, but our nervous system starts to react and it gets calm when we're going into these stretches. So if you find yourself yawning, that is so healthy, so good. It's your nervous system just responding to you, telling you that you're in a safe, comfortable environment. Let's bring it back up. And we're going to switch the legs here. So again, right in front of left, not so normal to me. Feels awkward. But necessary, but definitely needed, right? Okay, press out. And of course, I feel this when I say awkward, it's because it's an uncomfortable, like, it just feels uncomfortable. It doesn't feel natural, but I do feel the stretch more, so I am encouraging it for myself today. Drop those shoulders down, arms are long. Just deep breathing. It's like with every breath you take, it's just like a whole layer of just getting back to ease, feeling good. Just like you're ripping away the tightness or the tension off your body. And then bringing yourself right back up again. Good. And then let's just stay there for a moment if you can, taking your left hand to your right knee, just doing a nice little side stretch. And I'm pulling on that left knee to increase the stretch as I go into lateral flexion here. And then we're gonna go ahead, bring it back up, right hand to the left knee, raise that left arm up and over. And this was just a little warm up here as we ease into our footwork. Okay, so my footwork for today, I wanna keep it not on the typical default settings. I'm gonna lower it just down to a medium, a heavy, and then a light spring. So on balanced body, that's a red, blue, and a green. And then you guys can go ahead and lie down on your back. Headrest is at a halfway position, and I'm gonna start by taking my legs over the foot bar here, okay? So what we're gonna start by doing is roll out our calves. And what I mean by that is you're just going to start to like roll, like turn your feet to the right and then turn your feet to the left. And just doing this at a comfortable pace for yourself where you can start to feel maybe like you're rolling over a speed bump is like what I like to call it, because you can feel some of the knots there in the calves. And then you're going to make your way by like just gently bring your knees a little closer towards you as you continue to work your way down your calf muscle here. Okay, so there could be some tender spots as you're doing this, and you know you're on a spot when you, again, like I said, feel that little speed bump, but your body's gonna be able to feel it. I'm dropping them down a little lower here too as I self-massage my calves. Also really good to help with the circulation in the body, going down a little lower towards the ankles. And I'm gonna go ahead and make my way back up again. So just really slowly at your own comfortable pace, what feels good. And just if you feel some areas that you need to hang out a little bit longer, definitely do that. It's just really good to have this exploration time, because you may not even have noticed that you had tight calves there, or these knots that just decided to pop up or something. Good. And just a couple more here. And rest it there. And we're gonna take it to our feet now. So we're gonna self-massage the feet, which I'm gonna take the arches on the feet, on the foot bar, so right in the center here. And I'm about hip distance apart. So once you're here, just press out to 2 straight legs. My palms are up. Again, I always encourage like an open palm. And when we flip our palms up towards the ceiling, it helps to externally rotate at the shoulder joint. So we're not living in a rounded shoulder position. So what I'm gonna do with my feet is I'm just gonna self-massage them by going into some small circles, one direction. Again, there's no right or wrong here, so have a little fun with exploring different ways your feet can move on the foot bar and seeing like what feels better to you. And again, like walk your feet up and down the foot bar, okay? Because there's different areas of the arch that might need that attention. Maybe it's your heels, maybe it's the ball of your foot, maybe it's more in the inside, like of the arch. You know what I'm saying? Like if you tend to roll your ankle in and you're just like self-massaging that area, that's a really good placement. Or you can roll your ankle out and put the weight onto the outside of the foot here. But again, just doing some exploration on your own time. And we're using the weight of the springs here. So if you're like, oh, I like this, I just wish it was like deeper feeling, increase your tension of springs there, and it'll feel like you're getting a little deeper. Okay, just a couple more here as I just like walk to my toes and then walk it right back up to my heels. And I'm like flexing and pointing at the same time here to feel the stretch increase. Okay, but then now find a comfortable spot where you're actually hip distance apart on the arches of your feet. So you're not on your toes, you're on your heels. And we'll bring our arms back to the carriage, and then we'll go into bending and straightening the legs here, okay? So think about flattening out through your low back to imprint the spine and press it away. So again, a very comfortable weight today, just to loosen up through the joints. And again, ease my way back into engagement of my core. You know, doing mat for a week was also really great because sometimes you can plateau, I think, on the equipment because you can rely a lot on the springs to assist you. But when you're using your own body weight, man, that is like, it's hard. Mat's hard, but there's so much like gratitude from it afterwards. 2 more times. And press out and bring it back in. Let's go down to our toes. So toes are on. Make sure all of your metatarsals are back on the foot bar here. And I'm gonna bring it into a nice high heel position. Press out. I'm gonna drop my heels under, lift my heels up, and then bring it back in. So nice and easy. Drop the heels under, lift them up, and back in. All at the same time, I'm navigating this work through my midsection. So think of pulling your belly button away from your waistband to, again, drive the movement pattern. Yes. And extend. We lower, lift, feeling so good on the joints. I like it also with the lighter spring tension. I just feel like I can regain more mobility with the lighter tension as opposed to, you know, when we do our default spring system and it's heavier weight. And drop. This is our last one. Lift and then right back up again. Good. So stay on your toes for a second. We're going to go into prehensile. So you're going to press out straight. Let's drop your heels under. So with prehensile, you want to think of your heels staying under the foot bar as much as possible. Okay. So bear with me. We're going to keep our heels under the foot bar. You're going to begin to bend your knees and they're going to want to naturally lift up. That's okay. Just don't encourage it. And then once you come to the stopper, lift your heels up, press out. Drop your heels down, keep them pushing towards the wall in front of you as you bend your knees, tracking your knees nicely with your hips. So don't let the knees come together or apart. Lift your heels up high. Good. 3 more. Drop the heels. And this is basically the whole objective of this exercise is to enhance the calf stretches here. So you might even feel that. 2 more. Drop under, but it feels really nice. And I can even feel like the front of my ankles stretching here too. I did a lot of walking in Greece, a lot of stairs. So I believe that's what is feeling it. The elevation. And we did a hike too, so that also had a lot to do with it. Good, last time. Bend the knees, bend, 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 and then right back up. Good. Let's go up to your heels. Okay, so we're on our heels here, very wide position, and we're gonna press out and then just back in. Turn your knees out wide, okay? I want to encourage more of that turnout today, just to open up through the inner thighs. And press. Normally when I teach this, it's by default keeping the knees in line with the shoulders, but I want to definitely intentionally keep the knees more in a turnout position. Good, because we're going to add in a circle here, so just bear with me. So just 3 more. Press. Press. Good. 1 more time. And press. Good. So now from here, I'm going to have you guys keep your knees wide. When we start to push out to straight legs, start to turn your knees towards one another, and we're going to add in a circular motion where it's basically coming from the hip socket. So let's talk it through. We're going to push out, bringing the knees. So I'm pivoting from my heels, bringing the knees together, and then I'm going to go ahead and circle them out again as I return in. So don't overthink it. Just kind of go with this natural circular motion. But it really is coming from my heel when I'm providing this circular motion here, okay? And take it around for 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Let's go ahead and start with the knees together. And then as you push out, you're going to separate your knees and bring them in. So we just reversed the circle here and around. Good. And I like this too. It's like a nice, you can feel the quads working here. So you can feel like the top of your thighs here, maybe getting a little burning sensation. Good. Abs are drawn in for 2. And 1 more time. Take it out and away and back in again. Okay. Come to your toes. Let's do a little running. So you're on your toes, push out to straight legs here. We're gonna bend that right knee, dropping that left heel under, and hold it for a moment, okay? Just really push that left heel under to get a deeper stretch, and then switch to the other side, taking that same amount of comfort to the right heel as you push away, and then we can just switch it here and just find a comfortable pace for you. Again, I'm moving a little slower today, but if you like a little faster movement, all I ask is that you pay attention to your hips, that they're not shifting as you go through this running pattern. Good. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then I'm going to drop both heels under. I want a deeper stretch here. I'm like really craving this calf stretch right now. So the left heel is going under, and then you're going to take your right foot, okay? You're going to go ahead and grip it and pull even further. Like you, again, are in charge of this stretch. It's such a nice way. If you don't have anyone there like to pull your heels under, such a good way to do this on your own. And you can go as deep or as not as deep as you want. And then let's switch. So dropping both heels under, and then left foot's gonna come out. Just grip the foot bar here and pull. Good, relax. If you have hyperextension in your knees, just be careful with this one. I just don't want you to like overdo it. And then go ahead and let's bring it back in. Okay. Let's go ahead, sit ourselves up for me, and we're gonna go and make our way into a little bit of supine abs. So I'm gonna drop it down. I want more upper body today, so I'm gonna have it on a medium and a light spring, and that's a red and a blue. And then I'm gonna lie myself down so that I can get more of the upper body portion. I'm not gonna add a lot of flexion today. And let's take our hands up in towards the ceiling. So wrists over shoulders. I've got my handles on, and then one leg at a time into tabletop here, okay? So from this position, just pressing down with 2 straight arms and then right back up. So just because my tabletop is already here, I feel my abs working. But I'm gonna feel the emphasis played on more through the upper body because of the heavier spring tension. And press down. Good. Fingertips are again reaching. Nice open palm. Exhale here. Inhale back up. Try to rest your head into that headrest as you can feel the support of the headrest there for you. And press down. And take it for 3. If you feel like you're arching your back, again, do a little imprint here as you push your low back into the mat. 1 more time. Hold those arms straight down. Flip the palms to look at your hips. Let's go into our T press. Exhale, pull it in. And pull it in. Yes. Gather that energy from below your armpit to activate through your back muscles. So if you could just visualize this as a posterior exercise, like your back, upper back is primarily contributing to the work. You got it then. 4. Exhale. 3. 2. 1 more. Hold it right here. palms look down at the floor again, and we're gonna add in some triceps here. Bend and straighten. So I don't have my elbows touching the carriage. I want them floating off the carriage today. But I do have my elbows in next to my rib cage, so try to keep the elbows narrow. Press. And drop those shoulders. Think of your collarbone giving a really big smile here. And I think that always helps to like open the chest up more. 3 more. Exhale for 2. And 1 more time. Good. And then bring those arms right back up again. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and drop that down. So abs should be feeling warm at this point. Upper body is warm. And then let's sit ourselves up. And we're gonna go ahead and take it into an eaves lunge. So I'm gonna keep it on that medium and that blue spring here. And I'm gonna take it on my left side first. So my left foot is right in line with the metal bolts. So you can see right here that I have this metal bolt. So find something along your reformer where you can track your left foot. And my right foot's gonna go on top of the carriage on the shoulder block. Let's take it into a nice deep lunge. Reason being I have it on the heavier spring because I feel like we can get a deeper sensation through that hip flexor here. So I like that. If you don't, then go ahead and reduce your tension. And then most importantly, watch that your left knee stays over your left ankle, okay? And then just chest is up, arms are straight, you're pushing away from the foot bar here. And then just, again, allow those hips to just kind of drop and sink into it as you breathe. It's like so good to open up through those hip flexors after just like sitting for a prolonged period of time. Even if you didn't travel, you just like have a tendency to sit a lot throughout the day. This is gonna open it up for you. And then come back in. And then obviously we wanna do that hamstring stretch. So stay where you're at, push away, left leg stays straight this time. And keep pressing as much as you possibly can. And go ahead and come back up. Let's stay on the same side, but take your right foot to the opposite shoulder block. So it's coming over here for more of a curtsy type of lunge. Left foot's exactly where it's supposed to be. And then I'm gonna press out, and you might feel this a little deeper into the hip flexor, or just like slightly in another area of the hip flexor. But again, try to stay straight and dropping your pelvic floor towards the ground. Let's watch our left knee over that ankle again, okay? So again, pay attention to it, it's very important. This is a really deep stretch too, so if you guys feel like a little off, it's because those muscles are opening up for the first time in a while. And it can just kind of, it's releasing toxins at the same time, so you just want to flush everything out. Drinking a lot of water is going to help with it too, with these deep, long, like prolonged stretches. And then let's bring it back up again. Yeah. Okay, let's take it into an inner thigh stretch. So with the inner thigh, I do want to reduce the tension. So I'm going to remove just the medium spring so I can stay on the light spring. And my left foot is going to be on the floor. Right foot's going to go up against the shoulder block. I'm walking my hands over to the frame. So again, careful. And then you're taking it back out into your version of your side splits here. So you can kind of, you can be active about it. You can be passive, whatever feels right to you. But taking that nice adductor stretch, again, is so important, just like we do with our hip flexors and our hamstrings, our quads, all the things, right? And then go ahead and make your way back in. So I'm gonna keep the tension here. Let's go ahead and take it to the other side with that same inner thigh stretch. So from here, my right foot down, left foot up against the shoulder block. We're gonna walk ourselves again over. And you might even notice like one side is more tighter. My right side was a lot tighter than my left side. So again, think about paying attention to what your body is speaking to you. And then carefully, let's walk it back in again. Good, hand to the foot bar, bring that carriage in. Just gonna pivot myself around. So my foot is now underneath the bolt on this side, and I'm gonna add in my medium spring, okay? So I have, again, a medium and a light spring on, so red and blue. And take it down into your Eve's lunge with the heavier load. Knee over ankle, arms are straight, shoulders down. It's kind of nice to add in some of these restorative type of workouts too, especially if you do Pilates on a regular basis per week. It's really a nice add-on for energy levels, just for recovery. So I'm not gonna lie, it feels really good to do this type of workout today. Again, deep breathing. And then come back up again. We'll take it into that curtsy. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. Before we go to the curtsy, we need to do our hamstring stretch, so stay with me. Left foot is still at the shoulder block. We're gonna go ahead and keep the right leg straight as you extend, taking this into more of a hamstring stretch. The trick here is on the heavier tension, I'm pushing my right heel into the floor in order so that the springs don't control me. I'm still in very control of the springs. So think about that as you're doing this. Square out your hips if possible. Again, feeling it in the belly of the bicep femoris, which is our hamstring here. I even feel like going down into my shin. So if you can keep your foot flat, see if you even get the benefit of that stretch in the shins. And then go ahead and carefully bend to come back in. Okay, now we're gonna do our curtsy. So left foot's over at the shoulder block. Everything is the same with my right foot. I'm just adjusting my hands over a little bit and then taking it deep into that lunge again. Letting it sink. If you don't feel the stretch, maybe try pushing out a little further. So like play with it a little bit so that you can acknowledge where that muscle decides it wants to react to you, right? I always have a sense of like the muscles are talking to us when we go into these deep stretches. Like, wow, I didn't know it was that bad. And another breath here. And let's go ahead and bring it back in again. Yeah. Okay, so let's take it into some hip circles. So I love the fact that we just added in all those hip stretches. It's a little backwards of what I would do in regular programming, but for today, it made a lot more sense, because now I want to go into those hip circles. So I'm changing myself into my loops. I'm already on the spring tension that I wanted. So I'm on that medium and that blue, medium and the light spring. So red and blue, lie yourself down. Let's take it 1 foot at a time into the loops. Let's bring those legs straight up. Something so nice about getting back into feet in straps after a long time. Tailbone is heavy, and I'm just taking in the moment of like feeling the hamstring stretches here, okay? So let's just go ahead and begin to lower and lift the legs here, and then back up. Nice and controlled, super slow. and then back up. Again, my goal is to keep my tailbone on the carriage to really encourage more of that imprinted spine through my low back, because my low back is a little on the tighter side, and especially if you know that you have more of an anterior tilt, you'll already live in that tight low back. So having this moment of imprint helps to create space along the spine. Let's do 2 more. Good. Push your tailbone down into the carriage and then press with the legs. And then back up again. Let's bend the knees and take it to frog, a really wide frog, and knees in as far as they can come in towards your chest, okay? So press out to straight legs and then bend the knees to come in. So if you've been with me for a while, you know that I have always done frog where your knees stop over your hips, but I've always said too, what's the objective, right? In this case, we're doing more functional movement and restorative work. So I do want to feel that low back stretch. I do want to feel my hips stretching. So in that case, knees coming as far into the chest, tailbone almost lifting, I'm okay with. Yes, because this is not overly going into hip strengthening, it's going to hip stretching. 2 more. And last time. And press out. Good. Now from here, I'm going to parallel with my feet, and I'm going to separate the legs and circle them up and around. And press down and separate up and around. So we're lubricating at the hip joints. And I'm allowing the ropes to kind of take it away. So you can see I'm going a little slower as I circle around because I want to feel like my legs are just getting a little longer as those muscles open up. 3. 2. And 1. Let's reverse it, okay? Let's take it out and then circle it around. And I like doing both ways because I feel like all of our bodies are so different that one way is gonna feel more natural and better than the other way to some of you guys. So this particularly feels a little bit more challenging on my end. But like I said, all of our bodies are designed differently. We all favor to different things. So it's good to have these moments, again, of exploration. And I also am allowing my legs to come in more than 90, if you can see here, so that I can feel the hamstring stretching too. A couple more. And last time. And then let's bring it back in again. Okay, I'm gonna remove my feet from this, and as much as I don't want this to be such a choppy flow, I'm gonna come up and adjust my spring settings down to 1 medium spring, because we're gonna go into semicircle here, okay? So semicircle is basically a spinal articulation exercise. I'm gonna lie on my back and I'm lowering myself down away from the headrest here, okay? And you're gonna have your hands on the shoulder blocks. I'm gonna keep my heels on the foot bar, and I'm gonna shimmy myself down as far as I possibly can, starting to straighten out my arms, okay? So again, careful if you have any shoulder injuries. You don't wanna have your arms overhead. And so it's the hardest thing to do is getting into this exercise, right? But let your hips drop down. Let them drop down for a moment into extension. And then we're gonna go ahead and basically start to bridge our hips up, okay? So as you highlight the hips towards the ceiling, it should feel kind of good at this point. And then you're gonna straighten your legs out all the way. And then you're gonna lower yourself down into deep extension. And once you kind of feel that spring underneath you, just kind of glide your body back as you bend your knees and then articulate to curl up back into your high bridge position. Press on out, lower yourself back into the well, breeze across the springs, and then go ahead and lift the hips back up, press out, dropping those hips, and then slowly bend. Bring it back up. Okay, hold here. Let's reverse it. So now we're gonna drop our hips down first. Slide across that spring. Once you're at 2 straight legs, bridge up. Keep your hips lifted. Pull back in. Good. And lower, extend. So nice on the spine. Hopefully it feels like that way to you, not so much like work. But like once you find a natural flow, it's kind of fun to do. And then bring it back in. And then the easier part is to kind of slide yourself up so you're coming out of that position and let that carriage just lock into place. Okay, let's go ahead and sit ourselves up for Mermaid. So I'm gonna take it to a zigzag position with my legs. My shin is up against the shoulder blocks. I'm on my medium spring still. And let's reach up and over. All the way over. Think of shining your ribs towards the ceiling. And then come back up. And then let's add in right hand to shoulder block. Pull on that as you reach up and over for a counter stretch. And then take it back over. Left hand, right arm reaches. And then come back up. And left arm. One more. Reach up and over. And return up. This time we'll go in for that stretch on the left side. And then I want you to carefully go ahead and turn so you're having both your hands to the shoulder blocks. Lift your chest up like you're wringing yourself out like a towel. Try to look over your right shoulder as you kind of pull with your left hand here. And then carefully unwind. Okay, let's do the other side. So let's take it around. We're gonna zigzag those legs. And right hand is on the foot bar. Press out, reach up and over. Feels so nice to just really hang here, right? And then come back up. Grab that shoulder block and switch to the other side. And take it away. And slowly return, come back up. And reach. Good, one more time. Take it over. See if you can go a little further as your body is now more warmed up in this plane of movement. And come back to the top. Reach it up and over. And this is where we're gonna go ahead and turn. So right hand grabs a hold of the shoulder block, left hand adjusts over. Lift your chest up tall, guys. And then turn. Using your right hand for extra added stability, we're twisting our spine. And then starting to unwind here. Good. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and take it into a nice Swan Prep to stretch out the low back. So I'm grabbing my box and we're gonna take it on vertical. Let's see. Yep, so I'm still on a medium spring. I'm gonna keep it there on just that red. Lie yourself down onto your stomach. Chest is hanging off. Legs are separated. Eyesight's down. Let's go ahead and press away. Straight arms forming. Lifting your chest, dropping your shoulders down, coming up into a nice extension if that feels okay for you today. Everyone's extension's a little different. And lower down. Bend your elbows. Let's try this 3 more times. Pressing out. Again, I'm not cueing for activation today, as you may have noticed. I'm cueing more to live in the stretch for a moment. And for here, it's about stretching through the low back and back in. That's why it's so important when we're doing Pilates to emphasize what the purpose is, what the objective is, so that you understand what you're doing. And lower down and breathe. One more time. Extend, lift, and lower back. Beautiful work. I hope you guys enjoy this today. That was much needed. Much needed. My body feels very supportive at this point. So it's really good that we take these times to just do things for that, right? Also helps to boost your mood. So finish it with some roll downs here, guys. We're gonna go ahead and hip distance apart with the feet. Stretch those arms up all the way. Let's take a dive down. These are important to do. I hope you guys don't skip these roll downs. They're really important to help just do that inventory of your body. Breathe, let it all hang nice and heavy here. Let the blood flow into the top of your head. And get it carefully as you rebuild and restack your spine nice and slow. You don't want to come up too fast because of the blood rushing through. Down our body again. Shoulder roll it back. Breathe. One more time. Lift. Let's take it all the way down. And again, I'm just checking in with my low back, how that's feeling. It's definitely a lot more open. And press those feet down and in to the floor. Begin to rebuild and restack. Shoulder roll it back. Nice. Maybe a little circle with the neck like we did in the beginning to check in. Go the other way. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I haven't done a restorative workout in a really long time, so if you like this, please hit a thumbs up, share this with other folks that you think might benefit from this, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe so you get notifications on when I release Monday workouts and the rest of the week as well. So again, thank you so much for supporting me and the channel. Love it, love it, love it. And I will see you guys next week.